Right. Hello, everyone from sunny Tampa, Florida. I am Sarah Braithwood. I'm an admissions counselor here at the University of Tampa. I'm also an alumni and graduated in May of 2010.
I'm Olivia. I'm a freshman musical theater major at the University of Tampa, and I'm from Orlando, Florida.
So we'll just be talking a little bit about the university for you. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot those our way, and we will respond with them. Just to get started with some basics about the university, we are a medium-sized private institution right across the river from downtown Tampa, so we're separated by the river. We have about 7,200 students in total, including our graduate students, but the majority of our students are undergraduates working towards a bachelor's degree. 50% of our students are from out of state and 20% are international, representing over 130 different countries. So what's great about getting an education here at the University of Tampa is that you will be able to connect with people from all over the world. So we kind of like the aspect of the diversity here and hope you will too if you join us. Let's see what else I can tell you about. We offer 150 areas of study, and you can look those all up on our website to find a complete list. But just to give you some of our top majors, our most popular major here is international business. Another popular major is psychology, nursing, and management, which is our general business degree here at UT. I will go ahead and let Olivia tell you a little bit about her experience as a UT student, and then we'll just wait for some questions and tell you a little bit more about the school once you get moving along here.
I live on campus, and I think that's really great because um, you get to know everyone in your dorms or just around because you're on campus more. I really like the class sizes because they're small and personalized, so your teachers really get to know you. And I like just the atmosphere of the school. Like it's just a beautiful campus, and the weather's always nice. A lot of the out-of-state people really like that.
All right, so we have our first question from Natalia. She asked, does our honors program have a submission deadline? So just to talk a little bit about the honors program, students will automatically be invited into the honors program if they meet a certain criteria. So that will be in your acceptance letter if you're invited into the honors program. Now, we would encourage you to let us know that you're interested in participating in the honors program around the same time that you decide if you are planning to come to the university. So it's always best to get that decision into us as soon as possible so that way we can work with you on building your first year schedule and making sure that you start in some honors courses and in what we call our pathways to honors, which is a orientation class for our students in honors. So hopefully that gives you some insight to the deadline for being a part of the honors program. For the requirements for the honors program, since we are talking about that, a student needs to have a 3.5 unweighted high school GPA and either a 1200 on their SAT or a 26 on their ACT. And like I said, you will be invited in at the time of acceptance, so you'll know in your acceptance package if you are invited into the honors program. Now, for those of you that might not be invited in as a first semester student, you can be invited in at a later time as long as you receive a 3.5 GPA from your coursework here at UT. Let's talk about the perks of the honors program. Some of our students are able to study abroad at Oxford through a tuition exchange program. There are different study and travel courses that are available. I heard that one of our honors courses actually got to go on a trip to Boston recently, which is very cool for them. Just the whole honors course was able to go to that. They also get compensated for any research fellowships that they conduct, so you can have some money for research as an honors student. And then you get to choose from honors courses that aren't offered for those that aren't a part of the honors program. So thanks for asking that question about the honors program. That's a great question, and hopefully you will join us in the honors program here at the University of Tampa. All right. Do we have any other questions out there for us? If not, we can talk a little about residence life. We'll talk about that.
Well, there are four main freshman dorms on campus. There's suite style, which means that there's either two doubles or a double and a triple that are connected by a bathroom. And the one exception to that would be in McKay, it's a community style, so it would be one general bathroom with no suites. But you get in your room, you get a bed, a desk, a dresser, and um, and then closet space or a wardrobe. And you can also rent refrigerators and microwaves. So really, you have everything you need in your room or that you can get on campus. Um,
We have a number of styles of residence halls on campus. So when you become an upperclassman, you might be able to live in an apartment style residence hall. And some of those include they have kitchens and a common area, and then a bathroom shared by your roommates. So there's a lot of different living styles here on the university. We have 11 residence halls in total, and we just opened a new residence hall called West Kennedy. It's a really neat facility, and again, that's an apartment style for our upperclassmen. So there are a lot of options for living on campus. You're never required to live on campus. However, we do strongly encourage that as part of your UT experience. But about 65% students are living on campus, so it's pretty active. There's a lot of residents here around the campus community.
and there's always housing. Like even if you live off campus and you decide later on, like if you're a junior and you decide you want to live on campus because you're going to be at school more, like it's not like some schools that after sophomore year you might have to move off campus. And also the dorms are really nice for college dorms, so that's good.
Food's always a question. There are a lot of different venues on campus for our students to eat at, and the food is really good, so you got to be aware of that freshman 15. We have a Chick-fil-A, a Dairy Queen. We have, I believe, a burrito place,
Yeah,
but
an
an
Italian
Italian
style
so many options.
space unlimited dining.
Yes. Yes, our dining hall is unlimited buffet style, which is really awesome. So it looks like we got another question in. This question is coming from Paula. She's asking about scholarships and financial aid, which is a great question. So I will talk a little bit about that. So 92% of our students will receive some type of financial aid from the university, which is a high majority of our students. The average award package is around $17,000 per year. We award merit-based scholarships up to $14,000 per year. What happens with that is everyone who applies will be considered for a merit-based scholarship, and if they qualified for a scholarship, it will be awarded to them in their acceptance letter. So you'll know right off the bat if you were eligible and received a merit-based scholarship. Then we ask our students to fill out the FAFSA. That's the government document which lets us know what kind of aid you qualify for from the government, but it also lets us know if you qualify for any of our UT need-based grant money. So it's very important that you get that document into us, and then what will happen is financial aid will send you a financial aid package, and that will detail everything you're eligible for. The one nice thing about our university is that our admissions counselors and financial aid counselors will talk to you about affordability and making sure that you have the right kind of aid that will help you get through to the University of Tampa and make this reality of getting your degree from UT. So there are a lot of different options for financial aid. There are scholarships for specific majors. For example, if you are a theater major, you can qualify for a talent-based scholarship. We have some for art, life science majors. So if you're majoring in a science, you might qualify for one of those. And let's see what else. We have an English and writing scholarship, a government and world affairs scholarship, and there's so many others listed on our website at ut.edu/financial aid. Once you go on that site, you'll see many opportunities to apply for scholarships. Great question, Paula. Do we have any athletes out there? If so, I'll talk a little bit about our athletic programs. The University of Tampa, we are the Spartans, so go Spartans. And we are a Division II school, so we compete in the Sunshine State Conference, and some of our most popular sports are baseball, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, and soccer. There are many other athletic programs that students can participate in, including club and intramural programs. So if there are any in our athletic programs as a UT Spartan, make sure you check out our website, tampaspartans.com, for all of the information about our teams and how you can be a part of them. Was there anything that you wanted to talk more about your experience at UT? Maybe any clubs, organizations, or Greek life that you're participating in?
Well, we do have Greek life on campus. We don't have houses, but the fraternities and sororities are still very active, and they really just get everyone involved on campus and have a lot of show a lot of school spirit, and that's just a great thing to become a part of because you get a lot of people with things in common with you, so it's a good way to make friends, especially your freshman year when you don't really know anyone, and it's just a great way to get involved.
Yes, and there are a ton of clubs and organizations to be a part of, and if there isn't something for you on campus that you want to participate in, which is very rare since our students are able to find anything, yeah. But if there isn't something and you have a large following of friends that want to join you in a club and organization, you are able to create that on campus through the Office of Student Leadership and Engagement. We think that's a really great aspect, so that way students can have a voice and participate with common interests with their friends. So if there's not a club that you're interested in, but you want to participate in something or get an organization started, it's pretty easy to do here on campus. And like we said, there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot to participate in, which is great about the university. I think it stays pretty active. There's a lot of different events to participate in. Let's see if we have any more questions coming in. All right, I just gotta read this question real quick. All right, so we have a question from Paula asking if you are not an athlete but you want to work out, are there any sports clubs or fitness classes that you can participate in? I'll let Olivia answer this one.
We have on campus, we have a full fitness center. It's called McNish Fitness Center, and it's a full gym. We have exercise machines and weights, and then we also offer different fitness classes. There's we have Zumba, yoga, spin, turbo kick. There's everything with those. And then we also have a lot of intramural sports. So there's always different athletic opportunities if you're not an athlete. And we also just have volleyball nets and that kind of thing around. We have people will run on the track. There's definitely a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, so even if you're not an athlete, there's a lot of exercise and fitness programs that you can participate in. So great question. Let's see what this one is from Susanna. Susanna is asking if there is a community garden. If not, would there be something possible to pursue the garden? Did you want to answer that?
I know there's a garden, but I don't really know.
So we do have near our Sykes Chapel of Business, there is a garden on campus. I'm not sure that it is student run. I know that if you are interested in trying to get a garden that is student run that you can keep up, again, that is something that you'll want to go through with the Office of Student Leadership and Engagement. It sounds like it would be a really great addition to our campus, but I'm not sure one that's currently student run on our campus. But there is a lot of greenery around, and there are a few gardens in the area. I just believe those are kept up by facilities. So, Susanna, when you come to the university, you'll definitely want to talk with the Office of Student Leadership and Engagement about getting one of those started that's led by the students. Let's see if we have any other questions. Oh, David asked if freshmen are allowed to have cars on campus. Do you want to answer that, or should I?
Sure. Okay. Freshmen are allowed to have cars on campus. It's $50 for a parking permit, which really is not much for a school. My high school was more. But so we have two parking garages on campus, and actually, I believe another one is going to be. It's under construction right now. So there's one of the parking garages that is primarily where the freshmen park, and then there's the upperclassmen usually park in the other one, depending on how fast you get in your parking application. So yeah, there's always you can definitely bring a car. That I know that's very important because you're gonna want to go places or sometimes get home. Like I live an hour away, like the car is very helpful.
Yeah, so if you don't want to have a car on campus, that's perfectly fine as well. We do have a service where students can rent a car through, I believe it's our safety and security office. There's a Hertz online rental on our campus. We have two vehicles that students can rent at any point in time. We also have public transportation within the city of Tampa that many of our students utilize if you need rides to and from the airport, if you're trying to go home. There's shuttles and taxis that you can take as well as a public bus line that students can ride. There's a lot going on campus. You don't really need a car unless you're trying to go out, visit. If you're trying to go to the mall. The mall you would possibly want to drive to. Yeah. So, but it is nice if you want to have a car, you can. If not, you don't have to stress and you don't have to worry about bringing that down if you're coming from far away.
And we actually have taxis that will park on campus so that you don't even have to call one if you want to go somewhere. They're usually out there, or they'll be there fast if for some reason there's someone.
All right, so another question from Paula. Let's see. Paula's asking, do all freshmen get on-campus housing? That's actually a really good question, especially for our university. We will make sure that our students get housing, but housing is not guaranteed at the university, so keep that in mind. It's never guaranteed on-campus housing. We have, like Olivia said, four freshman residence halls on campus. For our students that are incoming. If you are not, if your paperwork does not get in on, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Our housing is based on first come, first serve. So the sooner you get all of your applications in, apply to the university, get admitted, put in a deposit, and then apply for housing, the better your chances are of having on-campus housing. Now, what happens if our students aren't able to make it onto campus right away is that we will buy out floors of the Howard Johnson Plaza. This hotel is about 4 blocks from campus, so I'd say about a 7 to 10 minute walk. It's not very far at all. And we buy out the entire floors for students that might not have made it onto campus. We set it up just like a residence hall. So there's going to be 2 resident assistants to each floor and a head resident in charge of the entire building. We have safety and security patrolling there, and the Howard Johnson has their own safety and security as well. We did find that in years past, some students have requested to live at the Howard Johnson, which is kind of funny when you think about it, but they wanted to live the sweet life at the hotel. They were able to enjoy perks as a queen-size bed as opposed to a twin extra long. Nobody had bathroom cleaning duty because they had maid service come in and do that for them. So nobody had to get on their hands and knees and scrub the bathroom, which is always nice. That's true. That's a good point.
Maids do come in and clean the bathrooms of the residence halls, but they do not clean the bedrooms though, so they cannot go into them, so you don't have to worry about like anything being moved, but also you do have to clean your own room, even though the bathrooms will be.
That is a nice perk at the university, so you never have to clean the bathroom. Somebody will always take care of that for you. It might behoove you to be nice and tidy, but we will also make sure that somebody comes in and takes care of that for you guys. But like I was saying with the hotels, so they have that. They also had HBO over at the hotel, which on campus it's not included in the basic cable that you have. So students would enjoy the perks of the HBO shows over at the Howard Johnson if they were living there. Then what happens is if a spot opens up on campus, or when a spot opens up on campus, I should say, you'll be moved over onto campus and into another room that fits your needs. So housing's not guaranteed, but for our freshman students, if they are trying to live on campus and we don't have a spot available for them, we'll go ahead and put them up at the Howard Johnson on a floor with other UT students that might also be looking to move onto campus. But great question again, Paula. So very nice. Let's see what else I should talk about. Maybe the tuition costs for anybody who might be interested in knowing about our tuition prices. For a full-time student living on campus with a basic meal question coming in, so we're going to go ahead and pull that up. Okay, so the question that was asked is if there are a lot of school-wide activities, and I'm going to let Olivia answer that since she participates in those currently.
We do have a lot of school-wide activities. The first week of school, especially, we'll have like there the for orientation week there will be trips to Busch Gardens because we're maybe 15 minutes away. A lot of times, because we have student productions on campus who arranges for big activities like that. We'll have movie nights. They'll put a big screen in the theater and they'll play a movie, especially around Halloween. They'll do that. We have sometimes they'll bring in special guest musicians or comedians. I know at the end of the year, there's a spring concert and they bring in like usually a pretty big name, Basir's Man Kim, if any of you have heard of them. So there are definitely a lot of school-wide activities. There's always games to go to. Different organizations will put on different things. Like the other day, one organization had they set up a screen and they brought in Chipotle, like a buffet of Chipotle, and they played the new documentary. I'm not completely sure what it is, but there's just always stuff to do. Even if you just walk around, or there'll be a poster or a table or just an event.
Yeah, if anybody visits our campus, you'll be able to see in Plant Hall, which is our main building on campus, you'll be able to see all of the posters and signs for different activities, clubs, and organizations that will be happening, when they'll be happening, what time, and how you can get involved. So there's always something, I believe, every day of the week, multiple things going on campus.
There's always performances to go to or participate in. There will be organizations will table in the Vaughn Center, which is like our main student union, so they'll be able to let you know also what's going on and how to get involved if you want to.
All right, so we have another question, and this question is, are you able to cook your own food? Do you want to take that question or should I?
Yeah. For freshmen, there's a lot of the halls will have there will be a kitchen that you can use, not in your room, but just on a floor, just in the building. There would be a kitchen facility so that you can cook if you want to. And then in some of the upperclassmen dorms, there are actually kitchens that you can cook with. But in the rooms, you're not really allowed to have anything more than a microwave or a pop toaster. But there are definitely ways to cook your own food. Because there's always a kitchen that you can find.
All right, so Susanna asks us, what are some unique things about UT? I'll go ahead and list some of the things I think are unique, and then let Olivia. So one thing that I loved about the University of Tampa is its close proximity to downtown. What was great about that is there's so many internship opportunities right within walking distance, and I thought that made our school unique because we're the only one within the area that is so close to downtown Tampa and are able to participate in those internships that are right there within walking distance. So that was one thing that I really liked. I also liked that it was a medium-sized school, so you were able to make those connections and always meet someone new. And the other thing I liked was the different options of food. I thought it was really neat when they put in a Dairy Queen here at the university, and I heard that we're the only school in the Southeast to have it. So we get to maybe even the country, which is really awesome. So the UT students get to enjoy blizzards down in Tampa, Florida. They get to enjoy those blizzard ice creams from Dairy Queen. So what do you think is unique?
The architecture is really cool in a lot of the buildings. Our plant hall, which is our main building, it was built in the early 1900s. So there's a lot of history on the campus, along with the new a lot of new buildings and new technology. So that's a good mix. And just the different opportunities, I guess, that are on campus, and just how personalized it is. Really, you really get to know everyone, and they 300 other people and then just taking notes that you can get online, like you actually are learning, which is good.
So I'll shoot some more facts out to you. Since Olivia brought up a good point about our class size. Our average class size here at the University of Tampa is 21 students. So you're not going to be sitting in huge lecture halls, like she said. Your professor is definitely going to know you by name, which is really important for your education. So that way you can get the type of help that you might need in those classes. All of your classes are taught by your professors, so you'll never have a teaching assistant or a graduate student. So you never have to guess who will be teaching the class on what day. So that's really a nice aspect to have. Our faculty to student ratio is one faculty member to every 16 students, which again, that's a really strong number for our students that want to have a smaller, more personalized education. Oh, look, there's Bunny here. I just now noticed. That's too funny. It sounds like they're falling off the wall. So in a few minutes, you might see those bunny ears fall off the wall, but that is a University of Tampa foam hand. I believe it comes from our Vaughn Center, which is one of our residence halls. Another question on the board is, do people bring their bikes with them?
They do bring their bikes. There are bike racks all through campus, or you can just keep it in your room if you want to just be safer. But I mean, it's a safe campus. But and a lot of people, there's a lot of nice places to ride, like along the river and just through campus. And there's also a bike rental service through the gym that for a certain time during the day, you can rent a bike for free and use it so that if you didn't want to bring your own, then there you can still ride bikes because they're always available.
I've noticed over the years that the number of bikes on campus has increased. So I think it's really neat that students are being active and bringing their bikes along. And we've expanded the number of bike racks that we've had on campus since from when I was a student here. So definitely, if you have a bike and you love biking, bring that down here. There's the longest running sidewalk called Bayshore Boulevard, which is really close to campus. It's a very active sidewalk right on the bay. So many of our students will go there. They'll do running, blading, and then of course biking, which is great. So make sure you bring that down if you have a bike.
A lot of my roommates have bikes and they use them all the time. They just go for bike rides with them.
All right, so we have a question asking what type of hobbies and activities are available for people to do during the weekends. So if you're staying on campus and not going out into the city of Tampa, there will be, like Olivia said, a lot of different opportunities for you to participate in programs, organizations, clubs, or social events. So the campus does stay lively on the weekends since so many of our students are coming from so far away, and most of them are living on campus. Now, if you're trying to explore, oh, there was that. There you go. I knew it was coming. If you're trying to explore the city of Tampa, Olivia did mention Busch Gardens is just up the road. It's about a 15 to 20-minute drive from campus. You can do a pass, which is pay for a day and come back all year, which is a great way to be able to go ride those roller coasters and see those great shows. The other most popular attraction, I think, is the beach. So we're very close to two main beaches. We're about 30 minutes from Clearwater and St. Petersburg Beach. And since I see so many wonderful tans on campus, I assume most of our students are heading out to the beach and going there, or sitting by our pool as well. They'll tan over by our pool.
And off campus also, a lot of times on the weekends across the river, there's this big park that they'll have different events with music and food trucks and different vendors. So those are always interesting to just go check those out too.
Yeah, and you can just walk right across the bridge and over to Curtis Hickson Park is what it's called. If you're more into theater and shows like that, yeah, we're really close to the Strauss Performing Arts Center, so a lot of different musical theater productions will come through there, which is really great to check out as well. We actually have a concert going on today in the area at the Tampa Bay Times Forum. Sorry, I think of the venue. That's actually also within walking distance, about 15 to 20 minutes, and Miley Cyrus is going to be here, and many of our UT students are going to that concert.
Because they just well, if the concert isn't selling out, they'll give the school vouchers. So I was just walking to the music department one day, and someone just handed me these two cards. And I was like, what is this? And I looked down, and they were my complimentary Miley Cyrus tickets for like 4 tickets. So that's another perk of the school. Sometimes you get free stuff.
Exactly. So, and then that forum, the Tampa Bay Times forum, there's a ton of artists coming through there, and students will go to those concerts, especially if they're on the weekends. But like today,
Also near the Rays and the Bucks.
yes,
So sports games and with hockey. There's a hockey team. So people go to sporting events.
yeah. The great thing about our location is that we're in the city of Tampa, and Tampa is a hot spot. I would say there's a lot going on, always something to participate in. So even outside of campus, you'll be able to find more things that you'll know what to do with, to be a part of, and to go and check out. Let's see. Do we have any other questions on the board? Not yet. Let's see what else we can talk about. Maybe you can tell us about your Gateways class and what that's like. We have this class called Gateways, and I'll have Olivia talk a little bit about what that is.
Gateways basically just it's the first class you have like during orientation week you go to your Gateways class. So that for that year that's your advisor, the professor for that class, which will help you pick your schedule for the next semester and everything. But the class is basically just kind of helping you with the transition to college, and so they'll help you find where like all the different offices are, like the writing center or the gym or the health center. Like so, you just get to know your way around campus if you need something, and then they just talk about study habits and how to use like different computer programs just to make sure that you're as successful as possible on campus.
Yeah, so that's probably one of my most memorable classes that I've had here at UT. There's probably about 15 to 20 students in my class, and it really helped me transition from high school, get acquainted with the University of Tampa, and it really helped me with my academic plan to make sure that I could stay on track and graduate within the time frame that I wanted to. Some students that might do a double major may see that they're staying here for an extra semester. Some students are even able to graduate early if they are just diving into one major. But that Gateways class will help you stay on track and reach that goal for your degree, and then just make sure that you transition here.
Oh, and it's also it's within your area of interest, so it'll be either your major or some similar majors. Like I know my class is there's theater students and film students and a couple of communication students. So everyone generally has a similar major, so that the class can be more personalized, so that we don't have to like talk about like just stuff that has nothing to do with us in the future.
All right, so another question that came up is, are there a lot of students majoring in accounting? I believe that accounting is within our top 20 most popular majors. So that is going to be a popular major. Mostly anything within the business realm is going to be a popular major at the university. And those degrees fall within our college called the John H. Sykes College of Business. So yes, we have a high number of business students in general, and I do believe that accounting is within one of our top 20 most popular majors. So good question. I wanted to talk a little bit about experiential education since UT is so big on that. We always want our students to make sure they have hands-on experience before heading out into their career. So if there are any marine science majors out there, we have additional facilities for you off campus where you get to study out on the water. It's at our marine science field station. It's only about 15-20 minutes driving distance from campus. It gives you an opportunity to be out on the water and work at the wet labs and dry labs over there. And this again is in addition to the labs here on campus. For anybody interested in nursing, we have a ER nursing skills lab on campus, and our students will work hands-on with simulators. Then they'll work on the hands-on with the simulators, and then they'll also do clinical work over at the Tampa General Hospital and St. Joseph's Hospital, which are really close within the area. Another great experiential educational opportunity is studying abroad, and it's a very popular thing to do in college, especially at the University of Tampa. What's great is that we have programs that range from a week abroad to an entire year abroad on all the continents except Antarctica. We don't want any icicles coming back to Tampa. So there are able to tell you where you can go, what you can study, and when you can go. So we do encourage our students to participate and study abroad, and there are a lot of opportunities out there for you, including one that is called Semester at Sea. So you get to be on a ship and go to, I believe, about 10 different countries. Basically, it's a dream vacation wrapped up with some college credits. So that's just a little bit about our experiential education.
And there are always study abroad fairs too. Like every semester, there's usually one of the different classes or opportunities will each have just a fair table so that you can go talk to a representative so you can see what's right for you.
Yes, and so it's important to start looking at that as early as your freshman year, so that way you can work in some study abroad programs for you. So we have another question asking, what is the cost for an out-of-state student? Since the university is a private institution, there's not going to be a difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition. So everyone is charged the same full sticker price, and then your financial aid contributes to bringing that down to make it fit for you. So there is no cost for out-of-state students. We have another question asking about our forensic science program. So our forensic science program is primarily a lab-based program. So you're going to spend a lot of time in the lab with our professors working on different research opportunities. Again, like most of our other programs, it is a very hands-on program. So we're going to make sure that you know what you'll be experiencing in your career field. What's great about the professors within that major is that they are currently doing faculty research that our students get to assist them with. Since the forensic science program is only an undergraduate program at the university, that means all of the research opportunities are going to our undergraduates, which means ample lab time and will definitely prepare you for the field so that way you have a strong background before you get out there. Forensic science is pretty popular. In addition to that, we have a criminology and criminal justice degree that sometimes students decide to double major in. So good question. Right. So let's see if there are any other questions that I may have missed. Sorry, just reading through the questions real quick, and then I will go through and make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, if anybody else has more questions, shoot them our way. We have about 20 more minutes left, and we'll be here to answer those questions. Oh, this is a good question. Is it hard to get from class to class?
Not at all. The farthest walk you might have from one side of the campus to the other is maybe 10 minutes. So, and then classes are always usually they'll end on 50, so that you'll have at least 10 minutes to get to your next class if they're back to back. So, there's normally never a problem. And if for some reason you do have a class that's on the opposite side of campus, you can always talk to your professor, and usually they're pretty understanding about that.
Yeah, again, since our class size is relatively small, we have about 21 average students, an average of 21 students per class. Your professors will know who you are, and they'll be able to work with you. Like Lydia said, the farthest distance point is 10 minutes from the farthest point of campus to the opposite end. So we're a medium-sized school. There's a lot packed into our campus size, but it is very easy to get between residence halls, classrooms, and dining facilities. All right, so one last question from Jonathan. Oh, let me see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make that out. All right. Oh, here we have another question. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through all of these. All right, so the next question is it hard to play sports for Tampa? Well, just to talk a little bit about the athletic programs again, we are Division II, and we are in the Sunshine State Conference. Depending on the sport that you're interested in, you'll need to get in contact with the coach about recruiting opportunities. So if you're trying to play for one of our Division II teams, it's important that you contact the coaches, and you will find their contact information at tampaspartans.com. you about the potential of you participating in one of our Division II teams. If you're not recruited for one of our Division II teams, we have a ton of club and intramural sports that students can participate in, which are student-led athletic programs. So there are many opportunities to still stay active in your sport, even if you're not recruited for one of our Division II teams.
Yeah, I know my roommate and a couple of people in my residence hall decided that they wanted to play intramural volleyball, so they got together a team of four, and they played against a bunch of other teams, so they still got to play their sport also. So
very nice. All right, so it looks like the questions have died down, and I think I've made it through all of those questions. If I did not, I do apologize. What I would encourage for you to do is to shoot those questions to admissions@ut.edu. Oh, here's some more. But if you do have additional questions once we end it, make sure you take down the email admissions@ut.edu. Indicate that you saw our College Web video chat, and we'll go ahead and answer those questions for you. So we do have another question coming in that says, how many hours of homework do you get a night?
that really depends on your course load, but you just have to manage your time because a lot of most classes are either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, or they're Tuesday, Thursday, or just one of those days. So you usually have a day to do your homework. So if you decide that you're gonna do, you can either do all your Monday night homework that's due Wednesday, like you can do it that day, or you can be a day, you can be like a day behind and do your Monday homework on Tuesday night. So, but just make a schedule because you usually don't have that many classes per day, maybe two or three. So you just it's not like high school where you have seven classes every day that all just pile on homework, and also there isn't always homework. It's not you don't get a worksheet or something necessarily. It'll just be like you have a paper to write or an assignment. So I mean, there's an occasional like assignment from a book, but it's not like high school where there's a lot. You have to put in a lot of study time, of course, but it's not like you have your seven classes all at once and due the next day or anything. So.
Yeah, what's great about the Gateways course is that your Gateways professor and there's also a student in that class that's going to be your mentor. They'll be able to help you with your time management skills in order for you to be able to get through that homework and all of your assignments. And like Olivia said, it is very different from high school because you're not taking classes all day long, back to back to back, and you're not sitting in the same classes Monday through Friday. She mentioned that there's some Monday, Wednesday courses and things like that. So the typical full-time student has either 12 credit hours to 18 credit hours. And each class will be anywhere from 1 credit hour up to 4 credit hours. So it does work a little differently, and that Gateways class will definitely help you get a better understanding of what it's like with a college course load. So great question, though.
It also depends on like how academically based your major is too. Because like I'm taking 18 credit hours, but a lot of my classes are performance based, so I don't necessarily have like the physical homework for a lot of my classes.
All right, so that looks like, two questions just popped up. So we'll go ahead and answer those real quick, and then we're going to have to get going. These last two questions. The first one is how to get scholarships for Tampa. Now, the process in order to get any scholarships outside of merit-based is that you'll need to go on our website, ut.edu/financial aid, and see what scholarships you might qualify for that you can apply for. So you'll want to look at those. Students will be awarded merit-based scholarships in their acceptance letter if they qualify for them. What we do is we look at your academic profile and then we award that money to you in your acceptance letter. So a merit-based scholarship you do not need a separate application for. We will automatically consider you for that. For any other scholarships that we might have through the University of Tampa, again, check out that website ut.edu/financial aid, and see the different criteria for applying for those scholarships. Also, if you have private scholarships coming from wherever you're from, you can apply those to the university as well. We have a question asking if you can live alone on campus even if you're a freshman. life and request a room change. We do have single dorms on campus, so if you are interested in one of those, make sure you put that on your housing application, but we cannot guarantee that you'll be able and be granted that. Once open room change happens, you can speak with Residence Life if you weren't already in a single room. All right, so we do have, I'm going to answer this question real quick, and then we're going to get going. Like I said, if you do have additional questions, please shoot those to us at admissions@ut.edu. This last question is coming from London, asking about when they'll know what housing assignment they will have. London, what happens is after May 1st, we're going to go ahead and start assigning housing for the students that have shown that they are going to be coming to the University of Tampa. You will find out during the summertime when or what housing assignment you'll have, and also your class schedule will be available. If you're using your Spartan Web account, keep checking that. There's a lot of different things that you'll need to fill out for us to make sure you're on task with getting things in. I believe the dates that we go live with the housing assignments is usually in July. I believe it's around July 15th, but you can't quote me on that. I will go ahead and look up that information. I'll take your name down and I will be sure to give you an exact date. But we usually send that out later in the summer. So that is all the time that we have today. Again, if you have more questions, email us at admissions@ut.edu. We want to thank everyone for coming in and seeing our presentation to learn a little bit more about the University of Tampa. For more information, go to ut.edu, or you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/the University of Tampa. Again, thank you so much, and it was great seeing you all here.